working with Shlomo on projects, and I think that he and we are working a little bit different because every person has his way of thinking and his way of approaching projects. But as long as I can think, Shlomo would sit in his office and he would do a vignette, he would do a little sketch, and he would formalize the concept. And many times Shlomo said that coming up with a good and convincing story, a story that is generated from the site, will help us develop a formal language and will help us address the program that we have to develop, whether it's for the people or whether it's for the functional requirements for the site. And he would draft the sketch, and from there we took it. And if I worked with him, for example, on the airport project, he told me about an imagery, and together we took this imagery and we turned it into a drawing, into walls, into the theme of the agriculture, into all of these things. And maybe as a little bit too straightforward as it seems, or simplistic that you say you have to have a story, I find today that it also helps me. It's clear that today projects are more based on analysis. They're more based on input that we're getting from other consultants. Today we work with the ecologists that very much determine what's being done, and that wasn't the case when Shlomo did a project 20 years ago.
He always said that he was very lucky to have started working when he started working. Israel was then, it was just after the 6 Days War, and the country was in euphoria basically, and all of these new landscapes were opened up suddenly, and the whole country was feeling that it's moving forward in glorious sunshine. And on the other hand, it was a very small country, and with not very much regulation or formal ways of doing things that we have today. So it was open, it was much easier. I would say that as a profession we evolved. We're more professional, let's say, in a lot of respects, but it came with a price, and the price is that it's more regulated, it's less free, it's less flowing, it takes longer, and anyway, the whole world seems to have been moved to fast forward, and everything anyway has to be faster and cheaper and immediately, and so working is a bit, he always says to me that it is much harder to work nowadays than when he was working, from a lot of aspects. But I think that's true in the entire Western world.